Hello everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tails Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a collaboration hop with Pear Blossom Press. If you don't know who Pear Blossom Press is, Amanda is the owner and creator of Easy Lights, so you can light up your cards, and they're flat so you can mail your cards. So I am going to be using a variety of Scrappy Tails dies with the lights today, including the new A7 pop-up lantern, the small snowflakes from the snowflake spinner die set. I'm going to pull in the basic shape lantern panels, and then the Christmas church die set. And then for my card, I'm actually going to be using the Easy Lights. So these are like kind of the original lights that she's brought out that have a battery pack and 3 lights attached to some wires, and it's already attached to the battery, so you don't need to add any copper tape or anything like that. You literally just place the battery inside the battery holder and you're done. Then you can just click the button and your lights will light up. So I wanted to illuminate this church, so I did die cut it once from white and once from silver just to make it a little more sturdy. And from both pieces, I'm cutting the shadow dies for the windows of the church. So I did include those in the die set in case you wanted to see through the church. So I went ahead and cut through both at the same time. I did 2 on either side of the door and then 1 towards the top of the church, and then I'll go ahead and glue the silver on top of the white. And then I'm going to add vellum behind those opened windows. I really like using vellum with Amanda's lights because it kind of mutes down the bulb. You don't see as stark of a bulb through vellum, and it kind of bounces off and creates a really pretty glow. So I'll just cut around that. And then I did die cut the coordinating windows for the shadows from white cardstock. So I'll go ahead and paper piece all of that. I'm also adding the door to the church. And this die set does come in the card kit, so I hope to have a video on that very soon, so you can see more ways to use this die. But I really like it, and I thought it was going to be super pretty lit up with Amanda's lights. So now I'm adding the door and the window for that door, and then my church is pretty much done here. The set also includes this lantern that I thought would be really pretty on the front of the lantern pop-up. So I did die cut it twice from heavyweight white cardstock, once from silver. Going to stack those on top of each other for extra dimension. And then I'm going to add a bow to the wreath. This is also included in that die set. And then I'm going to string the wreath through the bottom of the lantern base so that it's a little more decorated for Christmas. I stuck with silver and white as the main colors on this card, so it's going to be pretty monochromatic. Here are those Easy Lights, so you can see I added my battery inside the battery holder, and she even indicates, you know, where the plus sign is so that everything lines up inside. And then I'm going to take those bulbs, there's 3, and just using Scotch tape, line them up behind my windows. I did make sure that the bulb was facing forward instead of backward. It is a little bit hard to tell, so you might have to click the battery on a couple times. But that's pretty much it. I just strung them behind the windows and then turned it on and done. So it's really simple. I love that there's no copper tape involved. It's already done for you. All right, so now I have the basic shapes that I cut the diamond shape from 4 times from heavyweight white cardstock. You can see I also cut my lantern base from white. And then behind the window frames, I'm going to add some acetate. I love that acetate kind of creates the look of glass. And I'm going to do a really fun technique with this after I kind of clean off any dust that might have landed on it. I am going to take my art glitter glue and follow the lines on these window frames and kind of squiggle some glue at the bottom of each panel on the frame here. You can see I'm going to let it dry, semi-dry. I'd say I let it dry for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I sprinkled on some chunky glass glitter. And this technique is really fun because once it's completely dry, it looks like frosted snowy glass or snowy windows. So this is the glitter that I'm using. I think it's also by Art Glitter Glue. I'm not sure, but it's really, really pretty. There's a mixture of chunky and fine glitter in there, and I think there's also glass glitter in there. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other panel for my lantern. This is the exact same thing that I did for the first one. You're going to need 2 for each pop-up lantern. So I added my window frames to the front, and then on the back I'm going to add my acetate. But on one of them I want to close the back. So I have silver glitter cardstock, and then on the back of it I added gray cardstock so that from the back of the card you would see gray and you could add a custom message if you wanted to. And then on the other panel, I did the exact same thing with the glitter technique. And I am taking a brush. Once it's completely dry, you could take a brush and dust off any excess glitter that landed on the acetate. And then I'll go ahead and connect these 2 panels together with those 1/2-inch tabs. That's where I added my double-sided tape. Then I'll go ahead and reinforce those score lines and attach each of those ends together to kind of create this box shape. And then you can see from the front, you can see the glitter from inside. You can keep the back of that open, and I do have several tutorials where I leave it open, but I wanted to show you guys that you can add a custom message to these cards. They do fold flat for mailing. I know when you look at them, they do look kind of like home decor pieces because they definitely can be. But this is one that I did want to mail. All right, so I had a lot of excess wiring behind this church, so I'm kind of scrunching it up, and I'm going to, again, use Scotch tape to hold those wires together. You can bend these, you can pile these on top of each other. They're still going to work. And by scrunching it in the center, I am able to control the length of the wire so that you don't see it inside the card as much. You can see there's just a little bit hanging at the bottom with my battery. My battery I'm going to hide at that bottom right corner. So I'm going to add you can see that I did add my bridge to the bottom of the lantern. I totally forgot to mention that. That is that 1/2-inch strip included in the die set with 2 1/2-inch tabs on either side. I added glue to those and stuck it to the bottom. I stuck it towards the front. I didn't go right in the center just because I don't want this church too far back in the card. I did add glue to the bottom of the church and let that completely dry onto that bridge before I glued the battery to the front of the card. I do suggest that strong U-line double-sided tape to glue the battery. I just added the tape on the actual battery holder. All right, and then here is the roof of the lantern. I am going to add my double-sided tape. I have tons of tutorials on how to assemble these lanterns. I am going pretty fast here because it is a hop and I want you to get through all of the videos, but you can see I added my double-sided tape to the center triangles. I have my glue tabs or 1/4-inch tabs facing upwards, and I added my glue to the center. I pinched those triangles in, and that's very simple way to create that roof. Again, if you want to see it slowed down, definitely check out my other video tutorials. I'm going to fold down these inner flaps. I folded one upwards and one downwards just so that it's out of the way and that this can fold completely flat. I'm going to trim off the 1/4-inch tabs a little bit so it's easier to add this inside the base. Then I have my 1/4 inch U-line tape. I'm going to add that to those tabs at the top. Remove the backing on that and line it up inside my base. It doesn't matter what side you glue these tabs on, as long as you center it and get each corner down evenly. Then you can go ahead and kind of squish it and make sure it's nicely adhered. And then you can see it just pops right back into place once you kind of completely get it folded and glued down. All right, so there's that topper, really cute. I'm going to again just dust off any excess glitter on the front of this card with my paintbrush. And then here you can see when you click that battery, the church will light up. So I did need a spot to indicate that you had to push there in order for the church to light up. So I have my handy dandy Lawn Fawn Push Here stamp set. I chose 2 images from the set to create this Push Here button. I stamped them both on gray cardstock with Versamark ink, and I'm going to pour white embossing powder over that image, heat set it, and then I will just with my scissors freehand cut that out. Now you couldn't really read the Push Here because it was so light, so I am going to come in with my black ink blender brush. I didn't add any ink to it, so it was kind of a gray color on my brush. I'll just go over that button with that so it stands out a bit more. So I mentioned that this is a collaboration hop. There are going to be prizes. I'm going to be giving away a $25 gift card, and so is Amanda. The hop officially started yesterday, so I do have a blog post on this card. My video is coming late because I got stuck at the airport coming back from Vegas because of the hurricane here in Florida. So yeah, that was fun, but I'm home now. I am a little bit sick, if you can hear it in my voice, but I had a really great time. And if you want to see some more amazing inspiration using Amanda's lights and more Scrappy Tail products, definitely check out the rest of the designers on the hop. They created some awesome projects, and there's some amazing guest designers that I've never worked with before, so yeah, it's really exciting. So I did add Oh Holy Night to the top. That is a silver hot foiled sentiment. I had a bunch of these on hand because I like to hot foil as many sentiments as possible. So I have a set of silver and gold. I thought the Oh Holy Night fit well with the church. I did cut it up so that it fit better towards the top. I added my hook to the top of the lantern along with the silver bow. Both of those come in the original pop-up lantern die set. And then just as a finishing touch, I did add a couple small snowflakes around the entire card. So on the sides here, I'm just going to add some larger snowflakes, and that's it. I don't want to overdo it. On the back, I have another silver lantern and some more snowflakes. And then again, I'll add another hook and bow so that the front and back match. And I kind of wish on the back I left the last panel without acetate so that I can write on that gray cardstock. But I think what I'll end up doing is cutting another gray and gluing it on top of the acetate so that I can add that message. Right, so then I just have 2 more snowflakes that are going to go on this side, cleaning up as I go. There will be a lot of stray glitter, but you can easily take that off with a paintbrush. And then that pretty much finishes my card. I am going to turn off the lights so that you can see this church completely lit up. I have another video where I created a toy shop with our storefront pop-up, and I used Amanda's single light. So if you want to check that out, I will have it linked below, or I guess above. I don't know. You'll find it. And go ahead and check out the hop. There's prizes happening. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.